नमस्कार. आयच्या ग्राउंड झिरोक तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. महत्वाचो ग्राउंड झिरो, कारण महत्वाचो दीस, महत्वाची हायकोर्टाची ऑर्डर आणि रेअर ऑर्डर. ज्यो गजाली सदांच घडनात, रेग्युलर आसनात, अशा गजालींचेर बट ज्यो इरेग्युलरिटीज ह्या ट्रायलीच्या दरम्यान म्युनिसिपालिटी रिझर्वेशनाच्या हायकोर्टाच्या नदरेक आयल्यो, त्या इरेग्युलरिटींचेर आयिल्ली ऑर्डर. आणि इतली कडक ऑर्डर आसा की म्हाका दिसता खंयच्याच सरकाराक हाजे पयलीं इतली व्हडली नामुश्की सहन करची पडली ना. आणि एक गजाल महत्वाची, हायकोर्टान खंय तरी इलेक्शन प्रोसेसा भितर आपूण मेतेर जावपाक सोदना हें सांगतनाच ज्यो डिस्क्रिपन्सीज हायकोर्टा मुखार एक्सपोज जाल्ल्यो, त्या डिस्क्रिपन्सीचेर एक कडक स्टँड घेवन 5 म्युनिसिपालिटीची इलेक्शनां आणि तांचो रिझर्वेशनाचो प्रोसेस सरकाराक परत करपाक लायला. ताका लागून ही इलेक्शन्सूय केन्ना जातली, 15 एप्रिला मेरेन जावपाकच जाय. सो केन्ना जातली, कशी जातली, उरिल्ली जी म्युनिसिपालिटी आसा तांचें इलेक्शन केन्ना जातलें, अशे कितलेशेच प्रश्न ह्या एका ऑर्डरींतल्यान निर्माण जाल्यात. पण एक गजाल हायकोर्टान क्लियर सांगल्या की असल्यो डिस्क्रिपन्सीज, असल्यो इरेग्युलरिटीज इलेक्शन इमिनंट आसा किंवा इलेक्शनाचो प्रोसेस सुरू जाला अशें आसल्यार पसून खपोवन घेवचे नात म्हणून. म्हजे बरोबर 2 मानेस्त आसा स्टुडियो भितर. सगळ्यांत पयलीं जे आसात, जाणी स्टेट इलेक्शन कमिशनाक ह्या केसी भितर रिप्रेझेंट केले, ते सिनियर एडवोकेट शशिकांत बाब जोशी, स्वागत. आणि दुसरे म्हजे बरोबर आसात जाणी ही केस कंटिन्युअसली फॉलो करून तुमचे म्हऱ्याक एवरी डे ताचे अपडेट्स पावयल्यो. आज सकाळीं ताणी जी स्टोरी ब्रेक केली ऑर्डरीची, ते आमचे लिगल रिपोर्टर मुकेश कुमार. मुकेश, आय विल स्टार्ट विथ यू ऑन अ व्हेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन. when you go through this order, apart from the major highlighting points that we have been breaking since morning, what are the observations of the High Court that government needs to keep in mind now when government has been told to redo the process of reservations? What are the observations and anything else that is very scathing, very important that you would like to tell our viewers?
Pramod, since day one, the 2 major defense was taken by the state government. One was that order of the Constitution bench of the Supreme Court. The High Court has started with that judgment only, and it has written that they, I'll read it out. The Constitution bench of the apex court in the celebrated case of Mohinder Singh Gill has expressed a word of caution while entertaining any dispute involving and revolving around the election. Election disputes are not just private civil disputes between 2 parties, though there is an individual or a few individuals arrayed as a party before the court, but the stake of the constituencies as a whole are on trial. So High Court has also taken up this matter from there only, because the state was taking the defense that courts should not intervene once the election is not notified but imminent. Another thing was that the second defense was taken by the state government that there is no set principle or set policy for the rotation, delimitation or reservation. That's why there is no arbitrariness. So High Court replying that contention of the state government has said that in our detailed judgment pronounced today, deliberated extensively on the constitutional infraction and the principle of the rotation amounting to arbitrariness set out in the state legislation, and noting that said infraction we are constrained to quash and set aside by the impugned notification dated 4th Feb issued by the director, that is respondent number 2. So High Court has replied both the major defense taken by the state government, and High Court has quashed and set aside the notification, though according to State Election Commission it will affect only 5 municipal councils which will present before the High Court. But according to Advocate General, he was saying, I don't know what is the extent of state government as of now, but during the trial he was always saying that if we touch one word or reserved seat, it will affect entire election process. So we have to see that what stands now. Another thing I want to tell you here only, that a state government is certainly going before the Supreme Court challenging this order. But we have to get back to the Advocate General or a state government that what decision they are taking. But this is for sure that they will challenge this order before the Supreme Court.
जोशी बाब, एक गजाल इम्पॉर्टंट की एक्सपेक्टेड आशिल्ली तुमच्या येदे व्हडल्या लीगल करियरा भितर म्हाका दिसता एक्सपेक्टेड ऑर्डर आशिल्ली, कितली अनएक्सपेक्टेड ही ऑर्डर, आणि तुम्ही ह्या ऑर्डरी कडेन कशी पळयतात कायद्याच्या दृश्टींतल्यान आणि नॉर्मल फ्रॉम अ इलेक्शन प्रोसेस डेमोक्रेटिक सेटअपाच्या दृश्टींतल्यान?
एक गजाल खरी आसा की बेसिकली जेन्ना कोणी लॉ वाचता, नॉट लेस देन 1/3 सीट शूड बी रिजर्व फॉर विमेन. हो प्रिंसिपल धरलो म्हणजे तुमकां लक्षात येता की जर 10 जर सीट आसत एका पर्टिक्युलर म्युनिसिपल कावन्सिलांत, जाल्यार ते नॉट लेस देन 1/3 म्हणजे 3पेक्षा चड म्हणजे 4. म्हणजे नॉर्मली आमी म्हणटा की 5च्या सकल 3.4 असले जाल्यार आमी 3 धरता, पण हो प्रिंसिपल रिजर्वेशनाच्या बाबतींत लागना. स्पेशली वेन देर इज अ वर्ड नॉट लेस दॅन 1/3, तो इश्यू एक इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रिजन that the Honorable High Court has basically quashed all these orders for reservation. आता दुसरा भाग असो की नॉर्मली इलेक्शन प्रोसेस जातकूच चालू जाल्या उपरांत इलेक्शन प्रोसेसांत केन्नाच कोर्ट्स इंटरफियर करना. हे एक्सेप्शनल केसीस, कारण सुप्रीम कोर्टान परते प्रत्येक वेळाचेर कॉन्स्टिट्युशनल बेंचांनी निरनिराळ्या जजमेंटांनी तेंच्यांनी बरयलां की जर इलेक्शन प्रोसेस चालू एकदाच इश्यू जालो, नोटिफिकेशन इश्यू जालें की त्या उपरांत हायकोर्टान किंवा खंयच्याच कोर्टान इंटरफियर करपा जायना. आणि हे रिपिटेडली सांगिल्लें आसा, हायकोर्टाक वॉर्निंग्स दिल्ले आसा त्या बाबतींत. पण ही दॅट इज वाय इवन आमकां सुद्दां दीस इज एन एक्सेप्शनल ऑर्डर. नॉर्मली अशें ऑर्डर पास जायना.
कित्याक लागून दिसता की हायकोर्ट तुम्ही ऑर्डरी वाचल्या, वाय डीड हायकोर्ट टेक दिस एक्सेप्शन? आणि जो जजमेंट साईट केल्ल्यो एडवोकेट जनरलान सुद्दां ड्युरिंग द ट्रायल की हायकोर्टान इंटरव्हीन जावची न्ही म्हणून, इन स्पायट ऑफ दॅट हायकोर्ट हॅज गॉन अहेड अँड फेल्ट दॅट दे नीड टू पास दिस ऑर्डर. कित्या खातीर अशें दिसता तुमकां?
There are two things in this entire process. Petition High Court pending आशिल्लें. Petition was kept for final disposal on a particular date. त्याच दिसा Election Commission issues the notification, which gives an impression that perhaps this notification has been issued to frustrate the hearing before the High Court, so that their election process would go on and there would not be interference from the High Court. एक गजाल. दूसरी, High Court has intervened here because there is a violation of constitutional mandate. See, ultimately, Election Commission is also a constitutional authority. Government has also powers under the Constitution. पण अशा सिच्युएशनात जर हायकोर्टान जर इंटरफियर जावना, कारण धडधडीत दिसतालें, कारण त्या सांगता तुमकां जेन्ना मॅटरी चालू आशिल्ली तेन्ना हायकोर्टान इवन इलेक्शन कमिशनाकूय प्रश्न विचारिल्लो की तुमी बाबा अशें आसत जाल्यार विल यू इंटरफियर, विल यू आस्क द गव्हर्मेंट टू करेक्ट दीस रिजर्वेशन. त्या वेळार इलेक्शन कमिशनान व्यू घेतलो की ना, रिजर्वेशन इज द डोमेन ऑफ द करंट अंडर द म्युनिसिपॅलिटीज ऍक्ट. द पॉवर्स ऑफ रिजर्वेशन आर गिवन इन द म्युनिसिपल काउन्सिल. So once the powers are given to the municipal council, we will not interfere with the reservations, and whatever government does, we can't interfere with it. At the most, we can write to the government to correct it. त्याच्या फुडें आमी काय करूंक शकना, कारण we had told them, given the examples in respect of other reservations also earlier, in case of Jilla Panchayat, in case of other panchayats, wherein state government, election commission wrote to the state government on a number of occasions, at least 1 year in advance they were asked to do reservation. एक बार लेटर बरयली, reminders बरयले, they even refused to even acknowledge, government many times refused to acknowledge the letters written by the secretary of the election commission. पूण हे जातकूच मागीर DO लेटरां बरयली, पूण त्याचो प्रोसेस मागीर इन द प्रोसेस कितें जावपाक लागलो की इलेक्शनाच्या नोटिफिकेशनाची 2 किंवा 3 दीस आदी रिजर्वेशनाची ऑर्डर येतली, एक त्याच्या आधी 2-3 दीस आदी डिलिमिटेशनाची ऑर्डर येतली, आणि एकदा इलेक्शन नोटिफिकेशन जालें की त्या उपरांत मागीर ताका स्टे मेळपा ना. सो इलेक्शन्स कॅन बी कंडक्टेड एज इट इज. पिटिशन्स वील बी एडमिटेड इफ दे आर हर्ड विन ए टायम फ्रेम, समथिंग कॅन बी डन अबाउट इट, or otherwise next election पर्यंत पिटिशन्स will become infructuous. आणि अशी पिटिशनां हे 2015 सुद्दां फायल केल्ली आसात. ती अजून थोडी डिस्पोज ऑफ जाल्या, थोडी अजूनय डिस्पोज ऑफ जावपाची आसात, आणि ती सगळी पिटिशनां अल्टिमेटली इन्फ्रॅक्शस जातली.
Mukesh, tell me one thing. Why do you think, what were the firm basis on which High Court said, and Advocate General made some very pertinent arguments citing many judgments in the past. Why do you think High Court felt so compelled to intervene and give this order?
See, Pramod, as Advocate Joshi said that there was conception of 33.33% reservation. So it was understood that it should not be more than 33.33%. It was misunderstood. And they were saying, Advocate General in his final submission said that it is minor difference. So it can be ignored at this point of time. But High Court has clearly said that no, anything in contradiction to the constitutional mandate should not be tolerated. Rather, High Court had asked State Election Commission also whether they want to take this initiative and ask the state government to rectify this irregularity. But State Election Commission said that it is beyond their jurisdiction or whatever you say. They don't want to call anything to a state government because it is power of the state government. So High Court said that as Advocate Joshi said that it is happening since 2015 also. Same situation was there in some panchayat election was there. So this question is being asked. State government nicely played that election process has been started, so you cannot do. Even Advocate General this time also made a submission that petitioners, if anyone is hurt by this reservation, can file writ petition or election petition after the completion of the election and after the result. So, but High Court said no, this will not go on, and we cannot see why not you rectify and issue the same notification and then go ahead with the election.
With the election process.
Yes.
जोशीबा म्हाका मुद्दाम एक गजाल विचारपाक आनी खूब लोकांच्या तकल्या भितर हो प्रश्न आसतलो की जर इतलो आर्बिट्रीनेस रिजर्वेशनाच्या बाबतींत जाला जाल्यार तो फक्त ह्या 5 म्युनिसिपालिटी पुरतो काय जाल्लो आसना जाल्यार हायकोर्टान ह्या 5 म्युनिसिपालिटींचीच दखल कित्याक घेवन ही ऑर्डर दिल्या
जे इलेक्शन पिटिशन जी पिटिशन हायकोर्टा समोर रिट पिटिशनाची फायल जाल्ली ती फक्त ह्या 5 म्युनिसिपालिटीच्या बाबतीतूच आशिल्ली आणि त्या बाकीच्या म्युनिसिपालिटींचो हेतूर कांय संदर्भ नाशिल्लो किंवा बाकीच्या म्युनिसिपालिटींनी कितें वायोलेशन जालां तें अशें कांय दिसूंक ना कारण लक्षात दवरात आतां हांवें सुद्दां एक केस जी तुमकां उदळ सायट केली इफ देर आर 10 कावन्सिलर्स इन म्युनिसिपल कावन्सील जाल्यार नॉट लेस दॅन 1/3 विल बिकम 4 पण हे सिच्युएशन प्रत्येक म्युनिसिपालिटीत आसचें ना कारण इफ देर आर से सपोज 30 कावन्सिलर्स इन ए पर्टिक्युलर कावन्सील जाल्यार नॉट लेस दॅन 1/3 म्हणजे मागीर 10 जाले जाल्यार 1/3 जातले सो ताका लागून हो जो इश्यू आशिल्लो फक्त 5 म्युनिसिपल कावन्सिला पुरतोच आशिल्लो बाकीच्या कावन्सिलांनी हो इश्यू काडिल्लो ना आणि ताका लागून ज्यांच्यांनी रिलीफ मागल्या त्याच मनशाक रिलीफ मेळटा ह्या मॅटरांनी आणि म्हणून ते इट इज रेस्ट्रिक्टेड टू दीस 5 म्युनिसिपल कावन्सिल्स तर मारगांव म्हापसा मोर्मुगांव सांगेम आनी केपें इतल्याच इलेक्शन्स उरल्या ह्या प्रकारात
म्हाका आनी एक गजाल सांगात की आनीक हो इम्पॉर्टंट इशू की आतां इलेक्शन जातली कशी कारण एक नोटिफिकेशन आशिल्लें रिजर्वेशनाचें आतां सांगलां की 5ची प्रोसेस परत करात रिजर्वेशनाचो 10 दिसां भितर आनीक ह्याच दरम्यान 15 एप्रिलाच्या पयलीं ही इलेक्शनां पुरी जी 5 आज पोस्टपोन केल्या तांची इलेक्शनां घेयात आतां गोंया भितर कितें जातलें 2 फावटी इलेक्शनां जातलीं एक 5+1 CCP खातीर दुसरी ह्या 5 खातीर अशी इलेक्शनां जातलीं तुमी कायदेशीर दृश्ट्या टेक्निकली हाऊ डू यू एनविसाज दिस
लक्षात दवरात एक कावन्सिलाचे इलेक्शन घेवप शक्य जायना कारण कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लागता इलेक्शन ऑफिसर्स रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर्स असिस्टंट रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर्स हेंची सगळ्यांची अपॉइंटमेंट करचे पडटा त्यावेळेस ताका लागून सदांच इलेक्शन जेन्ना घेतली वतात तेन्ना वॉट एवर इलेक्शन्स आर टू बी कंडक्टेड दे आर ऑल कंडक्टेड टुगेदर आतां नाव अलॉंग इन दीस नोटिफिकेशन दर 11 म्युनिसिपालिटी आशिल्ल्यो सांखळी म्युनिसिपालिटीचे वॉर्ड नंबर 9 आशिल्लो देर आर बाय इलेक्शन्स टू वेरियस पंचायत्स वन इलेक्शन टू जिल्हा बाय इलेक्शन टू जिल्हा पंचायत अशी सगळी ही इलेक्शनां जी आशिल्ली ही सगळी एका वेळार जावपाची आशिल्ली नाव आतां विथ दीस ऑर्डर इन ऑफ द ऑनरेबल हायकोर्ट वॉट विल हॅपन इज ही 5 इलेक्शनां 5 म्युनिसिपालिटी सोडून बाकीची इलेक्शनां ठरल्या प्रमाणे जातली कारण तो प्रोसेस गेला ऑलरेडी फुडें गेला नॉमिनेशन लोकांनी फायल केल्या आणि बाकीचो प्रोसेस आतां कंटिन्यू उरतलो आणि कंप्लीट जातलो
मुकेश one very crucial question when you go through this order is how High Court has held the officers of the government responsible for this arbitrariness and discrepancies. Tell us more about it. What does this order say about them?
I would read again one paragraph of the judgment. The noting that is precursor for the issuance of the impugned order dated 4th February 2021 and was prepared on 4th February itself in a tearing hurry, and soon thereafter law secretary, who is holding the post of state election commissioner, issued the election schedule on 22nd February 2021. High Court has clearly held that everything has been done in the hurry manner. Same thing was question was asked by the High Court that when the matter was listed for the hearing last week, why that day only election was notified? Could election commission not wait for one day? So High Court understood that there is something ill intention of the authorities, respondent authorities. That's why this election has been notified. And thankfully that day Advocate General made this submission that he will not defend the petition on the basis of that ground. But later on, finally, during his final submission, he cited the judgment of the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court. So High Court was very much aware, particularly I would name Justice Sonak, who is local Goan. So he was aware of last many years whenever elections have been happening and same situation are coming forward like this. So this time he has thought, no, we have to wait and do something. And this is result of that thinking. And I think this is right also. Pramod.
Very important. म्हाका आत्ता एक जी मेजर नोटिफिकेशन इलेक्शन कमिशनान इश्यू केला some time back, आणि हांव जस्ट आमचे बरोबर Advocate Joshi asat. We'll talk to them about this. Very important. This is a breaking and a notification that we have received just now, issued by the Election Commission. हांव वाचून दाखयता so that सगळ्याक clear आसतलें. The general elections to 11 municipal councils, which are Margaon, Mapsa, Bicholi, Kunkoli, Kuchare, Kepe, Kankon, Sange, Pedne and Valpoe in the state of Goa were scheduled to be held on 20th March. And whereas the State Election Commission has already issued a public notice with this effect. And as the High Court has quashed and set aside the impunged order for reservation dated 4/2/2021 in respect of Mormugao, Margaon, Mapsa, Kepe, Sange Municipal Council and issued a writ of mandamus to the Director and ex officio Additional Secretary Municipal Administrator Urban Development to issue fresh notification under section 1, under subsection 1 of section 9. Your सगळे details घाले आणि most important paragraph जो आसा. Now therefore, the Goa State Election Commission in exercise of the powers conferred upon it under Article 243ZA of the Constitution of India, read with section 10A of the Goa Municipalities Act 1968, do hereby direct the entire election process of Mormugao, Margaon, Mapsa, Kepe and Sange municipal councils shall be kept in abeyance till further orders. Shall be kept in abeyance till further orders. The model code of conduct which was brought in force with effect from 22/2/2021 for Mormugao, Margaon, Mapsa, Kepe and Sange municipal councils stands lifted with immediate effect. Most important gazal म्हाका दिसता ती last line. Not only has been the elections to these 5 municipalities kept in abeyance, but the code of conduct has been lifted in those areas. And thankfully we have Advocate Joshi with us. तुमकां आमच्या स्क्रीनीचेर ती पळोवपा मेळटाले. The last paragraph, which is the most crucial paragraph. Joshi Bab, how do you interpret this? तुम्ही सांगात हे कितें?
No, आम्ही तुमकां आधी सांगला तेच. These 5 municipal councils, Margaon, Mapsa, Mormugao, Sangem and Kepe. Only these elections have been, the process has been kept in abeyance. And now why it is kept in abeyance, I will tell you, clarify also. If the state government goes in SLP and Honorable Supreme Court stays the order of the High Court, then again process will have to be restarted from where it has been kept in abeyance. And that is why it has not been cancelled. It has only been kept in abeyance. And we will have to wait for some time to decide, to see how the state government reacts, whether it accepts the order or it challenges the order, or what the Supreme Court does in case if the state government goes in SLP.
Go ahead.
So त्या उपरांत, so म्हणून ते जेन्ना ही इलेक्शन्स कॅन्सल जाली, त्यांना ऑटोमॅटिकली कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट हॅज ऑल्सो बीन लिफ्टेड बिकॉज द कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट दॅट इज बीन ब्रॉट इन फोर्स इज लिमिटेड टू द ज्युरिस्डिक्शन ऑफ दिस पर्टिक्युलर म्युनिसिपल काउन्सिल्स.
तर तुम्ही म्हणतात दिस इज अ व्हेरी व्हेरी टेम्पररी थिंग till there is further clarity probably from the state government in the Supreme Court or from the state government without challenging it in the Supreme Court.
बरोबर आहे.
Till that clarity comes, you are saying this is the position.
Absolutely.
जसं एक प्रश्न तो येता, if you read this now, जाल्यार हांवें विचारिल्लो तो प्रश्न, 2 फावटी इलेक्शन जातली, एक इलेक्शन घडये 20 मार्चाक जातलें आनी दुसरी इलेक्शन घडये ताजे 15 दीस उपरांत ह्या 5 म्युनिसिपालिटींनी जातलें. दॅट इज वॉट इलेक्शन कमिशन इज प्लॅनिंग. सो 2 फावटी इलेक्शन.
हय, ताका दुसरो उपाय ना, कारण कितें जातलें की ताका लागून ओन्ली बिकॉज ऑफ दीस 5 म्युनिसिपल काउन्सिल्स बाकीची इलेक्शनां सगळीं पोस्टपोन करप शक्य नाशिल्लें, कारण इट इज स म्युनिसिपालिटी भायर उरल्यो. त्या शिवाय आनी सांखळी म्युनिसिपल काउन्सिलाचो एकूच वॉर्ड नंबर 9 आसा. त्या शिवाय बायपोल्स जे आसा ते सगळे एवरीथींग नीड नॉट बी केप्ट इन एबेयन्स बिकॉज ऑफ दीस. सो म्हणून ती बाकीची इलेक्शनां जे 5 जी फाटल्यान उरल्या ती मागीर 15 तारखेच्या आदी जातली इन टर्म्स ऑफ द हायकोर्ट ऑर्डर.
एक प्रश्न जोशी तो म्हळ्यार रायट ऑफ रिजर्वेशन फ्रॉम इलेक्शन कमिशन स्टँड पॉयंट जे ह्या केसी भितर घडलें की तुमकां हायकोर्टा भितर सांगचें पडलें की सरकारान हे तयार केलां पण आमी सरकाराक कांय सांगपाक शकनात. आनीक आमच्या देशा भितर इलेक्शन कमिशन ही बॉडी ऑटोनॉमस आसपाक जाय, ताजेर सरकाराचो दबाव आसपाक शकना, ताजेर सरकाराचो हस्तक्षेपूय आसपाक जायना. अशी परिस्थिती भितर आमी गोंया भितर हे विचित्र कायदे करून दवरल्यात रिगार्डिंग अवर सेल्फ गव्हर्निंग बॉडीज. What do you think is the way ahead?
See, under the constitution, article 243 जर पळयत 243K, 243ZA दोन्ही जर पळयले तुम्ही म्युनिसिपालिटी किंवा इवन विलेज पंचायत and in terms of 73rd as well as 74th amendment, all the powers which are related to control, supervision and conducting of elections to all these local bodies should be vested in the state election commission.
बरोबर.
आणि त्याशिवाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट तोमार सिंग जजमेंटापासून सुप्रीम कोर्ट हॅज अगेन अँड अगेन रिपीटेड की द स्टेट इलेक्शन कमिशन इज एट पार विथ द इलेक्शन कमिशन ऑफ इंडिया एज फार एज these powers are concerned. It has all plenary jurisdiction, all the other jurisdiction whatever is required to take all the necessary stands. But then हांगा गोंयांत कितें जालां की दो आवर एक्ट इज पास नाव लायक आय एम टेकिंग द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ विलेज पंचायत एक्ट. आमचो पंचायत राज एक्ट इज पास्ड इन 1994. दॅट इज आफ्टर द 73rd and 74th amendment of the constitution. But in our act, the powers of reservation of wards, power of delimitation are still vested in the state government.
बरोबर.
The same thing has happened to municipal areas also, municipal council also. Delimitation and reservation both are vested in the state government. Now, in only in case of CCP, the power for delimitation is with the state government, and reservation is with the election commission, but it is subject to consultation with the state government. So, हे सिच्युएशन जोपर्यंत लीगल पोझिशन चेंज जायना, जोपर्यंत प्रोविजन्स आमचे पंचायत राज एक्टातली आणि म्युनिसिपालिटी एक्टातली तोपर्यंत चेंज जायना, the situation will continue to be like this, and every time there will be a conflict.
The एक गजाल Mukesh, very clearly do you think the state government has made up its mind to challenge this order in the Supreme Court?
Yes, Pramod, because when the judgment was pronounced today, Advocate General immediately prayed that stay this order for 1 week that they can challenge before the Supreme Court. Though the High Court has rejected that prayer of the Advocate General state government, but it is for sure that that is the legal option which state government want to check with the Supreme Court.
जोशी बाब, म्हाका लास्ट एकच गजाल सांगात की तुमकां दिसता आफ्टर एटलीस्ट दीस ऑर्डर आमच्या राजकारण्याक मातशी तरी लज जर आसा जाल्यार तांणी हे जे अधिकार आसात दोन्ही रिजर्वेशनाचे आणि एक डिलिमिटेशनाचे काढून प्रामाणिकपणान स्टेट इलेक्शन कमिशना कडेन दिवपाक जाय.
राजकारण आणि प्रामाणिकपणा हे वांगडा केन्नाच वचूंक शकना. राजकारण हे शेवटी आम्ही म्हणतात इट इज अ स्ट्रगल फॉर पॉवर. सो वेन इट इज स्ट्रगल फॉर पॉवर दे हॅव टू बाय दे विल यूज एनी मीन्स अँड वेज अँड मीन्स टू एन्श्युअर दॅट दे आर इन पॉवर. सो यू कॅनॉट एक्सपेक्ट दॅट टू हॅपन दॅट वे अनलेस सम कोर्ट
आफ्टर एटलीस्ट ह्या ऑर्डरी उपरांत इतली तरी मातशें आसपाक जाय की बाबा डिलिमिटेशन, कारण जशें असेंब्लीचे बाबतीत तशेंच आसा न्ही, रिजर्वेशन जावं डिलिमिटेशन जावं अधिकार हो इलेक्शन कमिशना कडेन आसा.
This is a hypothetical question. If you have sincere politicians, honest politicians, then something of this kind can be done, not otherwise.
तुमकां दिसता की ही ऑर्डर येवन सुद्दां आपल्याले अधिकार सोडपाच्या मनस्थितीत खंयचोच राजकारणी आसचो ना?
Normally आसपाक ना. Unless there is something happens wherein somebody wants to take a blunt stand about it. कारण nobody wants to give up
Nobody
their
wants to
power.
give up the power.
Nobody wants to give up their power.
जोशी बाब, मुकेश, थँक्स अ लॉट फॉर जॉईनिंग विथ अस. आमचो आयचो उद्देश होच आशिल्लो की दिस इज अ लँडमार्क जजमेंट आनी व्हेरी व्हेरी रेअर जजमेंट जंय इलेक्शन प्रोसेसा भितर हस्तक्षेप टेक्निकली करनासतना हायकोर्टान दाखोवन दिला की आमी इरेग्युलॅरिटीज डिस्क्रिपन्सीज असल्यो जंय एका डेमोक्रेटीक प्रोसेसाकच खंय तरी सबवर्ट करपाचो किंवा मॅन्युपुलेट करपाचो प्रयत्न जाता, खपोवन घेवची नात म्हणून. आणि जशें आमी म्हणटाले की प्रामाणीकपणां आनी राजकारण ह्यो गजाली एकामेका बरोबर वचना तें खरें, तरी आसतना मातशी लज दवरून आमच्या राजकारण्यांनी हे जे पावर आसात हे काँग्रेसीच्याय टायमार अशेंच जातालें आनी BJPच्याय टायमार अशेंच जाता. सो मातशी लज दवरून जशें बाकीच्या इलेक्शना खातीर आसता तशेंच ह्या इलेक्शनाचे रिजर्वेशन आनी डिलिमिटेशन हे जे पावर्स आसात ते इलेक्शन कमिशना कडेन दिवचे. कारण जे हायकोर्टाक घडलें ह्या खेपेक इलेक्शन कमिशनाक उबो रावन सांगचें पडलें की हय हांगा प्रॉब्लेम आसा पण तुमची कायदे अशे आसात की आमी कांय करपाक शकना म्हण. ती पाळी एक नागरीक म्हणून परत आमचेर पळोवपाची येवची न्ही इतलेंच मागता आनी थांबता. थँक्स अ लॉट फॉर वॉचिंग दीस ब्रॉडकास्ट. पळयत रावात प्रुडंट. नमस्कार.